Welcome students to module number 14, that is leaf modification and leaf vernation. I am Mrs. Manjari Barve, Associate Professor in Botany at DCT's Dempe College of Arts and Science, Panji, Goa. In this module, you will be studying the leaf modifications as well as the leaf vernation types. Towards the end of this module, you will be able to identify the types of leaf modifications and differentiate the types of leaf modifications, as well identify the types of leaf vernations and differentiate between these leaf vernations. Leaf modifications. As all of you by now are aware that the principal function of the leaf is photosynthesis, when this function deviates from photosynthesis, then the leaf is supposed to be modified, and we are going to study the leaf modifications. So, the leaf modifications are of different purposes. The first one being for support, and when the leaf gets modified for the purpose of support, they are called as the tendrils. In the tendrils, you have variations. The leaf as such converts itself into a tendril, then it is called as a leaf tendril. The leaflet, that is in a compound leaf, when the small leaflet gets converted into a tendril, it is called as a leaflet tendril, and only when the leaf apex gets into a tendrilar form, it is called as the leaf apex tendril. The second modification is for the purpose of protection, and the leaf gets converted into spines. The third modification is for the storage of food. The fourth one is known as a phyllodes, and the fifth one is for the reproductive purpose that the leaf gets modified. Coming to each of them, the first one, as I said, for support, and then those organs are called as tendrils. The tendrils are thread-like green structures which are sensitive to touch and are capable of coiling around the support. When the whole leaf gets modified into a tendril, it is called as a whole leaf tendril. The stipules become large and foliaceous to carry out the function of photosynthesis, and this is seen in case of Lathyrus aphaca, or it is also called as the wild pea. The second one is leaflet tendril. The upper leaflets of the compound leaves are modified into tendrils, and lower leaflets remain unchanged. This is seen in Pisum sativum or the green pea. The third one is seen as leaf apex tendril. Only the apical portion of the leaf becomes sensitive and forms a tendril and helps in giving support to the plant. This is seen in a plant called as Gloriosa superba. The next function is for protection. These protective organs are called as leaf spines. The spines protect the plant from grazing animals and also reduce the area of transpiration. The leaf nature of spines can be made out by the presence of buds in their axis. Entire leaf is modified into a spine, and you can see this in Opuntia, or it is also a common factor in most of the xerophytes. For storage of food, food is stored in the leaves and they become fleshy or juicy due to the storage of water, mucilage and food. This is a common factor in aloe vera and in Allium cepa. Allium cepa is nothing but onions. Then you have the next modification of leaf into a phyllodes. The normal leaf is bipinnately compound. The leaflets disappear as the plant grows. The petiole flattens and becomes green in color to perform the function of photosynthesis. These organs are always vertical in position and the modification is known as phyllodes as seen in Acacia auriculiformis. Then you have the reproductive leaves. The leaf bears adventitious buds on them which help in the vegetative propagation. This is a very common plant called as bryophyllum. So, you have studied the leaf modifications for the purpose of support, protection, storage, phyllodes and reproduction. And further, these are the structures which you have already studied. Coming to the next factor, that is leaf vernation. Yes, this is vernation. Leaf vernation, or it is also called as stixis, is the manner of folding of individual leaf in young stage. They are of three types: the cercinate vernation, the convolute vernation, and then you have the involute vernation. What is a cercinate vernation? You must have seen this type of a structure in the fern leaves, of course in the young leaves. So, rolling of leaf from the apex to the base like a coiled spring of a watch is called as the cercinate vernation. The next is convolute vernation. Leaf is rolled up in one direction from one margin to the other. Very common factor, as in the first picture you are seeing the banana leaf or the Musa paradisiaca leaf, and in the second picture you are seeing Canna indica. So, the margins roll up in the young stage, and gradually as the leaves mature, as they grow further, they start opening or uncoiling away from their margins. So, this type of vernation is called as the convolute vernation. And yet another type of vernation that you see is the involute vernation. In this case, when both the margins of the leaf are rolled upward facing the midrim, as you are seeing it in the picture, the young leaf has coiled from either sides and has coiled towards the center of the margin, and then this type of a vernation is called as involute. This is seen in Nymphea plant. So, this is the third type of vernation, and then you have studied the leaf vernation types, the cercinate as in the case of ferns, the convolute as in the case of banana or canna plant, and involute as in the case of Nymphea. These are the references. Thank you.